Hi, I'm Carly from Benzinga. I'm here with Theo Terrace, CEO of cannabis beverage brand Uncle Arnie's. Theo, how are you?
I'm great. How about you? Thanks for having me, Carly. Really appreciate it.
So, jumping in here, cannabis beverages are a newcomer to cannabis. Could you tell us about the beverage category a bit more?
Yeah, for sure. So, cannabis beverages today are actually only 2% of the overall market. So, it's a really nascent category. However, it's the fastest growing category. So, if you look at California, the largest recreational market in the US by far, cannabis beverages are growing at around 75% year over year for the last 4 or 5 years, compared to the entire category or the entire cannabis market, which is about 50% growth. I anticipate that this trend will continue for years to come. And I think there's a couple different reasons for that. The first reason being that smoking is on the decline. Whether we're talking about cigarettes or talking about cannabis, there's really still a stigma to smoking. And people are looking for safer and healthier alternatives. And they're turning to alternatives like edibles and drinkables. The second reason for that is I think people are moving away from drinking alcohol. We're seeing that in the month of January for dry January. You've probably heard of that. About 1 out of every 5 Americans are actually abstaining from drinking alcohol for the month. And they're looking for other alternatives. And some of those people are moving over to drinking cannabis. The third reason is cannabis beverages are perfect for first time users, for people that haven't tried cannabis before, or even people that have had maybe a bad experience with cannabis, either from smoking or from edibles. And drinking cannabis just makes sense. People are just used to drinking beverages, whether it's having a coffee in the morning with a colleague, or going out for happy hour, or a glass of wine in the evening with a loved one. It's just something that we're so accustomed and so used to doing. So I do think this trend will continue for years to come, and that 2% will probably be 5% and 10% within the next couple of years.
Clearly, it's catching on. Your brand has risen quickly to become the number one selling cannabis beverage in California in less than 3 years. Can you give us the backstory about that journey? How did you do it?
Yeah, for sure. So Uncle Arnie's was founded in the beginning of 2020. So right at the beginning of COVID in May of 2020. The original team, the founders, went to the actual consumers, to the bud tenders, to the buyers, to the daily cannabis users, and tried to understand what would get them in a dispensary, what would make them buy a beverage, because beverage is only about 0.5% or 0.6% of the overall market. And we kept hearing the same feedback, which is that beverages didn't taste particularly good, that beverages were too expensive. And there was no brand that really resonated with that legacy consumer. So we came out with Uncle Arnie's, the iced tea lemonade, in May of 2020. We dropped it at $10 out the door for the consumer. The next closest competitor was around $20. And within the first 100 days, we were selling in 100 dispensaries, and the product was moving really fast. That was the only product that we had for the first year and a half that the company was around. And then over the last year and 2 months, we've come out with 7 additional product SKUs, 4 2-ounce shots and 4 8-ounce drinks. As of today, we're selling these drinks in about 470 dispensaries throughout the last 60 days. We've sold, as of last week, 1 million units. 1 out of every 5 beverages in the state of California over the last 30 days has been in Uncle Arnie's. So yeah, things have been trending in the right direction. It hasn't been easy, but we're making some significant progress.
Uncle Arnie's recently completed a 4.2 million capital investment round in October 2022. Why are you guys doing equity crowdfunding?
Our customers were always asking us, how can we be a part of the Uncle Arnie's family, other than consuming going to the dispensary or following us on our social media. And this is a perfect way to bridge the gap by investing into the company and enjoying the success and enjoying the growth of Uncle Arnie's over the course of the next few years.
Great. What states are you excited about entering this year?
So we're going to be entering Nevada and Michigan over the course of the next 3 months or so. I'm really excited for both those markets. Michigan is actually the second largest cannabis market outside of California. There's only 2 beverages, I think, in the entire market right now. There's and they're both low dose drinks. So I think our brand will fit really well in to the market over there. And then Nevada is a showcase market. I think our brand will, there's something like 30 or 40 million tourists every year. Everyone's consuming beverages in Nevada, and I think our brand will fit really well into the market over there.
Why is now the time for you guys to expand?
So we've spent the last 2.5 years focused really solely on California. California being the most competitive market, the largest market, and we knew that if we could win in California, we could win anywhere. As I mentioned earlier, we've got about 20% market share. We're selling in about close to 500 dispensaries, both in California and in Oregon. And we think that now is the time that we can take this brand nationwide.
With your current investment round wrapping up at the end of the month, what are a few things you're excited about coming up this year for Uncle Arnie's?
I'm most excited to expand into new markets, to come out with a couple new product SKUs. So we've got only 100 milligram drinks at the moment, but we haven't announced anything yet, but we do have some other product offerings. There are some states like New York that have milligram caps, such as 10 milligrams. Massachusetts that has a milligram cap. So we do have some new products that are coming to market. And I'm excited to reach profitability. We're getting closer. We're inching closer to profitability. We're almost there. And I'm excited to get over that hump.
So for investors, can you share a little bit more about your numbers? How has sales growth been since launching?
The growth has been amazing over the years. So we started, the first year was 2020. We reached about 400K revenue. 2021, we tripled that revenue to about 1.3 million. And we just finished last year with 2.6 million. And we're anticipating to hit around 6.7 million in 2023. That growth is really just coming from out-of-state expansion into the states that I mentioned, into Nevada, into Michigan, and continuing to grow in California, as well as the new product SKUs that we're coming out with.
Okay, well, we are so excited about everything happening for Uncle Arnie's this year. We'll touch base later this year to see how your growth is going and have you back on for another Benzinga interview. A reminder for all our viewers and listeners, Uncle Arnie's equity crowdfund on Seed Invest is running until midnight, January 27th. You can learn more at seedinvest.com or unclearniesinvestor.com. Thanks, Theo.
Thank you so much, Carly. Really appreciate the time.